Hi guys, it's Jessie Holton here, your Stampin' Up demonstrator for Australia. I'm jumping on a little bit late. It's 10 o'clock here. But I just thought that I would jump on because I've seen this come up a few times in the thread, and you'll have to excuse my trimmer is a little bit dirty, it's got bits of glue on it. But I wanted to show you what I do with my trimmer because I see that there is a lot of people that complain that it tears the paper rather than cutting it, and that can be true. So if we look up close here at the grey bit, when you get it, can you guys see there's a groove in there? So when you get it, and that's how it's actually made, you're meant to cut in with that groove side up. But what I do with mine is I flip it over on its side. So there's two, it's square. There's two sides with grooves and two sides that are flat. So I actually, and you can see I've used both my flat sides. I'm going to have to replace this shortly. But I don't use the groove side, I use the flat side. And that actually gives you a much cleaner cut. You do need to wear it in a little bit, so cut a couple of pieces of scrap on it first, just to give yourself a little small groove, and then it will cut a lot better. So when you're cutting the really fine, there's a new Christmas designer series paper coming out, a music sheet one, and that's the really thin one. There was one similar, a really thin one last year as well, but you get more sheets in the pack, so it's still worth paying the money for it. But with that, you do need to tread lightly. If you push too hard that paper, because it's so fine, it will rip, unless you've got a brand new sharp blade on. But a little trick to cutting the thinner music designer series paper is to cut two sheets at a time. I do find that doing it through just that little bit thicker helps it to cut better. And the other trick with using the scorer is the blade, even though it's meant to be blunt, it can actually cut the cardstock if you press down too hard on it. So when you're using the scorer, just go lightly, and even if you need to go over it a couple of times lightly, that will work better than if you do it once hard. Because I know it took me a little while to get used to using the trimmer, because my what I wanted to naturally do was push down hard on it, and so I was finding that it was actually splitting all my cardstock that I tried to score. But if you just go lightly, and you can go over it a couple of times, and that makes the scorer a bit better. And so I hope, I've been using my trimmer for about 12 months, maybe a bit longer. And I haven't replaced the blades yet. This is my first mat, so I've used both of my flat sides of the mat, and I'm about to replace it. But I cut a lot of cards, guys, so this has had some heavy wear and tear, and the blades themselves are fine. So I see people replacing the blades all the time, and it's not the blade, it's the groove in the mat that's causing the mischief. So flip your little mat over, cut on the flat side, and hopefully you'll find that works a lot better for you. Have a good night, guys. This is Jessie Holton, your Stampin' Up demonstrator for Australia, signing off to go to bed. Nighty night.